Core Memory Unlocked.
Horror.
Welcome in to a brand new episode of Core Memory Unlocked Horror. It's 2 episodes left, and we're going with the penultimate episode of a double feature. That's right, you're getting Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare, and you're getting Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Because how can you have a finale with a new thing later on? It doesn't make sense. So we are going to wrap up the Nightmare series, the official Nightmare series, with Freddy's Dead, and that's going to be with special guest Nick Wonderful Pearl with me, and let's get into it right now. That's Nick Pearl. Welcome, Nick.
Thank you. It's still weird to hear you say it that way.
I know. I don't like it. I don't love it, but here we are.
But I'm here. I washed my shirt from 2 weeks ago.
yeah. I'm repping death. I'm repping haunts. We're doing it all.
Yeah.
Make sure you follow us on Instagrams. We have them down there. You can see that. Death Curse Club, Nick Wonderful. Go ahead and look at the description of this video. We got Gruesome Brew Coffee. We got Amazon links. We got Patreons. We got everything. Go Brewing. Doesn't matter. We have it all. We also have the reactions to each and every one of these movies done by myself and Brooke that you can check out. If you have not, that would be appreciated. But we are here to talk about the finale of A Nightmare on Elm Street. We are here to talk about 1991's Freddy's Dead, the Final Nightmare. Okay, bud. Okay, well, I guess basic plot.
Tell us about it. Explain the film.
Well, I wish I could. There's a lot of twists and turns in this, a lot of misleading things they want to tell you, even though it doesn't feel misleading because it's like, that doesn't make sense. But long story short, there's one child left in Elm Street, and he's trying to get out, but he cannot. He also thinks that he's Freddy's kid. Is he? He shouldn't be, but the hairline definitely feels like he should. But we all are also introduced to not an orphanage. Would you say an orphanage?
Yeah, in a way.
A teenage hangout for kids that don't have parents. A lady works there, and she needs to take him back to Elm Street in Springwood. And, kids jump in. Breckenmeyer jumps in the van with them. So does a kid with a hearing aid and chick who just wants to punch everybody. And they get to Elm Street, and Freddy's just like, I'm loving every bit of this. I love that I'm going to kill all of y'all. And the boy who thinks he's Freddy's son, he is not. We get flashbacks. We find out that he has a daughter. It's the lady running the orphanage teenage hangout. And then eventually she kills him the same way that Nancy killed him, but didn't kill him. But he dies because he's got spirits in him that when he was in his deathbed being put on fire, we're like, hey, you want to live in eternity, baby? Yeah, why not? And then his spirits are in them, but the spirits are set free once he blows up because there's fucking dynamite that blows him up and Freddy's dead.
Pretty good. I mean, you could have just summed it up. Good way to sum it up would be, Freddy has wiped out all the kids in Elm Street, his home, and is now looking to jump boundaries. And then, a couple twists and turns. Who's Freddy's kid? Is it the boy? Is it the girl? Who knows? Breckenmeyer's bouncing around.
Fucking Roseanne Arnold and Tom Arnold and Alice Cooper are all in this.
What a cast, man. Like, believe me, this is like, they're like, listen, we're done. We've really jumped the shark with Freddy. We got to put this franchise to bed. How the hell do we do it? Well, we get the childless man and woman as Tom Arnold and Roseanne. Children? We get Alice Cooper, who, like me, loves this franchise, finally gets to play a character that he's a douche big old douche that started
Freddy's dad.
Yeah, he started this thing, man.
Yeah.
One of Freddy's daddies.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because he's the son of 1,000 maniacs.
Yeah.
And who the fuck was he?
Stop questioning Freddy 6.
Oh,
You just watch it like
bad.
you're watching some Saturday morning cartoon with your fucking cereal. That's how you enjoy this movie.
Fair enough.
Understand that they are completely just, I don't even want to say out of their league at this point, but they're just done. Like they don't know where the hell to go. They backed themselves into a corner with that little trilogy that we talked about.
Yeah.
They didn't know where to go. So why don't we go to the future where there's no kid left in Elm Street?
Yeah.
And his kid's all grown up now.
Yeah.
And survived the massacre on Elm Street and, is going to send Freddy to the depths of hell forever. Because if anybody's to do it, it's his own blood that has to do it.
Right.
Whatever, man. I mentioned it. The special effects, dude. It's
special effects, man.
Special effects, man. It's cool. Like I said.
So
the hearing aid sequence is so creative and
it is
really fun and painful to watch. Like you feel every minute of that.
The Q-tip going in gets me still to this day.
Yeah, it's creative. Reckon not Jay Muse.
He's like the fourth not Jay Muse. Even though technically this is before Clerks. So Breckin Myers is the prototype.
So before Jay Muse made it cool, Breckin Myers was playing that character.
100%.
Freddy Krueger has the only working fucking Nintendo glove to ever exist. That makes this movie here alone masterclass.
So, okay, we're jumping. Let's go back. Let's go back to the past.
Sorry.
Wonderful.
Very excited to defend this film.
Before you grew this love for this film, what was your first experience with it?
Watching it through my first, man, I'm going to get into that franchise and starting with one and working my way. So to get to this.
Yeah.
It's quite a fucking journey. It's like a teenager.
Yeah, no, was this one of the last ones you watched?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay, so you almost did it in order.
I did. If I hadn't seen 4, and I know I had seen probably 5 at some point prior, but 4 always stuck with me. Like I said, when you had mentioned that in our episode of being on TV, I was like, oh, wait, I have that very distinct memory of witnessing which we never talked about, Jason bringing Freddy back to life, the dog kissing to bring him back.
Yeah, we didn't talk about the dog.
Yeah.
You're right.
But I have always had that memory in my head. But this one, So I had went back and started 1 and 2 and 3. I was loving all of them, and then I got to this. And I hated it.
Okay, well that makes a lot of sense currently.
Yeah, I did. But then over the years, I gave it the rewatch and kind of then as I kind of watched films differently, like when I to be the snob here, like when I took some of the classes at college on like film culture and stuff, so that's when I started to see it in a different light and was like, man, knowing the story behind it, knowing how like the Freddy Krueger thing had totally peaked and they were like really on fumes of where to go, and just kind of like the girl who directed it had been involved with like just worked her way up where they were like, all right, you direct it. Like
within the franchise.
Yeah, within the franchise. Like she had just done other things like on set and around the other films that they were like, why not her? Like, that's kind of where they were. It wasn't like we need to find a director, we need to get Wes back. It was just kind of like, all right, well, you've been here from the beginning. Why don't you handle this one?
Right. And it's wild because where we live now, if this is how the internet saw how this franchise was being handled, how fucking wild would that? Like, we see fucking shows all the time being like, oh God, the next Avengers movie might get split up into two and the Russos are back and blah, blah, blah. Could you imagine living in the internet and just being like, the fucking hairdressers directing it? Fucking, wait a second. They shoot in 2 months? They just announced it and the premiere of the last one 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, and she went on to have a great directing career. She directed Tank Girl as well.
Oh, yeah. That's a fun one.
But she did go on to direct, like, Chilling Adventures, the Sabrina episodes, and Doctor Who.
Oh, cool.
Stuff. So it looks like TV is where...
and you know what, though? Holy shit. I love it because this is a memory from the recent watch that I did with Brooke. You can go to the description, click the link. I say this. This movie is filmed like it's a TV movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's filmed like, and I say it in the reaction.
3D glasses you got at 7-Eleven with your Big Gulp.
Dude, I said that it felt like it was filmed and scripted in a way of knowing where the commercial breaks were.
Oh, yeah.
Like it was made in the fact of we're not going to make a lot of money in theater, but once this bitch hits TV, once we're on Fox on Saturday night, boy, we making all the money.
Yeah. Once it ends up on Monster Vision on TNT with Joe Bob Briggs and Rhonda Shear is showing it with Up All Night, you know.
Right.
And fucking, those shows are starting to grab a hold of these really... Because that's the thing. Like, I've grown to really love this one for how... giving it a B. Calling it a B movie is even still giving it a high praise because...
Right.
It really is, though, one of those films that if you just go into it and you're like, just fuck it, man, let's go.
Right.
Let's have a gummy or something and just fucking enjoy the ride. Like, this film hits on those levels. If you're going in hoping for anything resembling a Nightmare on Elm Street film of coherent, even with the uncoherentness of 5, I'm sorry.
Right. Well, so when I first saw it, I'm young, I'm 10, 9, whatever. So like, again, 3, 4, 5, and this are the ones that I always saw. I never looked at film that way. I just looked at it as an episode of watching this. And I never really gave it that negative score. It really wasn't till I owned the DVD box set that came out, and once I get to it, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I watching? And even now, and I know I went hard into the paint when I did the reaction, but like, I said some things I might regret of like, I'm never going to watch this again. And that's not really going to be true because I do find that there are redeemable qualities. Mm-hmm. Like part 5, one of my biggest complaints of part 5 is like, I didn't feel like the writers got Freddy as good as any other one. Robert Englund getting to play in this was fun. Like the last movie, every fucking other line was bitch. Like fucking the nun came, I'm gonna get you. We'll see, bitch. And fucking like, it didn't feel natural where at least when I see Robert in this movie, and maybe they did, I'm sure they were like, this is your last one. And I felt he was like, I got to give it my all. Yeah, the makeup doesn't look pristine and whatnot, but he had a ball. And I've said this since day fucking 1. He never had an off day playing the character.
No. And I will argue the makeup works as well because Freddy's supposed to be weak and is desperate to get out of there. So Freddy is looking the way he's
like,
looking.
Oh, that's fair. I didn't even think of like maybe the spirit's dying, so he looks kind of white.
Yeah, that's true. That's right. By the end of this episode, you're gonna be it's gonna be like Halloween 3, baby, Season of the Witch all over again. You're gonna start coming around, and you're gonna be pitching with me that you know what we need at Universal is not a nightmare,
not a nightmare.
And then we get the 3D glasses at the end.
It's a 3D house, which is everybody's favorite always at an HH event. But like the redeemable qualities of the movie, like the very beginning where it does the quote. One of my favorite bits, whenever they skipped doing like a quote from a writer or whatever,
Yeah.
it always upset me. But when this movie was like this very grand quote and then fucking welcome to primetime, bitch, I thought that was so apropos. So much so I used it on our Hunter's final episode. I thought it was perfect.
Yeah.
And like the music in this was fucking rad. I love the montage during the credits. I think there are some things that make so much sense of why the direction you go into it. It's just, once again, I would say Bob Shea and New Line are the reason why this movie kind of falls.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if anybody wanted to really put any time and effort into it, and they specifically, but they were ready to move on. They thought they were done.
Right.
Because 4 peaked for them. Like you mentioned, 4 peaked. I want to say 5. I know because it didn't perform that way. They kind of were like, oh no. And then stuff was happening with the TV series, I think, was starting to go by the wayside. Like,
right.
Just the pop culture aspect of it, it's like anything. It doesn't, the momentum eventually slows down. And the minute the momentum slowed down on Freddy, they were like, pull the plug.
Pull it.
We're good. Freddy, because Freddy built New Line. New Line never would exist without Freddy.
We say it in the last episode of It's the House Freddy Built.
Yeah.
And that's what it got jokingly called since 4 was that fucking he made it. And he's the reason why you get all the movies later on from New Line. You get the Lord of the Rings, the Blades, and all those. Elf. You get Elf.
Because Freddy brought Elf. Every Christmas season when it starts, and I see that New Line symbol pop up because I just expect to hear the fucking Elm Street. And I'm like, oh wait, no, we're going into Happy Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
Zoe Deschanel and
right. And now we live in we live in a world where I hate when, like, I think it's Conjuring, like we get the WB logo and then it floats into the newer New Line one, and I'm like, I'd pay real good money if you guys just brought back the old fucking one. Like Universal does it when it's an anniversary year. Do it for them.
Yeah. So but you're right. I think redeeming qualities. I think the film has, as I've really it's been my crutch. It's been what I've leaned on the most. But I think when it comes down to it, that these films, even at their worst, always succeed by the practicalness and the goofiness and kind of the over the topness. Yet this film is out there, man. It is out there.
Yeah.
But it's fun along the way. And every time you're kind of at a what the F moment, something happens, like, Breckin Meyer's sequence. You always get one of those moments that pulls you back in, that you're like, oh yeah, this is why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I also Roseanne and Tom Arnold.
Right, exactly. And I'll say this just as a prelude of what's to come, like, the reason why Wes Craven's New Nightmare works so hard is because of this movie, because of the lack of the scare. No one's scared of Freddy anymore. Nothing, like, it's too comedic. And it's like, I think I would rather watch this.
So meta.
Yeah, so meta. But I would rather, like, if someone was well, you can only pick 2 movies out of the franchise to really solidify to watch Wes Craven's. Like, if you had to do, it would have to be the original and Freddy's Dead, because they're 2 polar opposites of what this franchise did while being good. Like, Part 5 sucks.
Yeah, everybody always hates on 2, but 5 is the one that probably does deserve the most. And people hate on 2 for the most obvious and wrong reasons.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, also, the problem with 2 is that it just straight up ignores all the rules Wes built.
Yeah.
That's why it's bad. And I've said this is like, if you watch 2 alone, Two's a good horror movie. But while it's bookcased in a fucking series about nightmares, there's no nightmares in that movie. No. There's nothing. They, like you said, I think it was the last episode or earlier on this where you were like, they're rushing them so much so they're putting out a script by somebody else who's not worked on part 1.
Yeah.
So he has no idea what the fuck he's doing besides Bob Shea telling him, hey, make this about this guy who kills fucking kids and he's in his dreams. Okay, well, I'm going to make him come out.
Telling him what was happening.
Probably not.
5 is when you watch 5, it feels like somebody wrote a totally different film and then they were like, oh yeah, Alice did this thing now.
I thought this once I found out that it was, they're going straight into it. The only reason why that fucking movie's even bookended with the fucking place where he died is because they just started shooting when the last one ended. Like, it's here. Let's just shoot here since fucking we still have the props. Ugh. Anyways, what are some final fucking things you want to say about this movie before we get into the fun facts?
Okay.
You're the big seller. Sell someone to do this because I'm not doing anything negative. I just want you to sell watching this.
I know. I think if you're looking for a good time, if you're looking for some fun, if you're looking for something that's a little different, something that's definitely better than whatever that reboot crap was that they came out with years later, this is definitely going to be better than that. This is going to be enjoyable. You're going to get Freddy doing Freddy things. You're going to get a fun game now, especially to play, of who's that? Because you're going to be pointing and going, look, it's Tom Arnold and Roseanne. Why are they there? And then you're going to find out that they were married. And that's why they were there. And they were very popular at that time. And that's why they were there. And then you're going to see Alice Cooper. And then you're going to learn a whole bunch about Alice Cooper. And you're going to start listening to Alice Cooper music more. And that's going to enlighten your world. And then you're also going to see Johnny Depp pop up on the screen as well. And you're going to go, holy crap, Johnny Depp made a cameo in return because Johnny Depp is cool like that. And Johnny Depp will do things like that. So yeah, Johnny Depp did that. And unfortunately, he wasn't able to get there for New Nightmare, but it wasn't because he didn't want to be there, because Johnny Depp always says that he would do anything for this franchise, even showing up in the final Nightmare. Plus, while you don't need your 3D glasses, it's still pretty awesome to see any film from the 80s, early 90s doing the 3D gimmicks, because you realize that while every film is in 3D and IMAX now, like Avatars, every other year, you used to get that.
Right. This was 3D, pal.
Yeah, this is what you used to get. Not blue people doing it with their tails, all right?
But I will say, if you get a chance to watch Friday the 13th 3D in 3D, I would do it. It's fucking fun.
I wish I got to this past year.
It's supposedly going to they're doing it in March, I think.
Oh, God.
I think from what I read, Regal's doing
not anything else.
yeah. Regal's doing part 1 and 2 in February, and then 3 and 4 in March.
God, that's hot.
So give it a go. All right, let's do some fun facts. Wrap this up. Peter Jackson's rejected script. Long before Lord of the Rings, Peter Jackson wrote a draft of Freddy. Was so weak that local kids took sleeping pills just to go into their dreams and beat the shit out of them. Let me tell you, right fucking now, I'm not even going to lie to you. I would absolutely watch a 90-minute movie where kids go in to abuse Freddy until he can't take it no more and he shits out those demons. I will watch Freddy's Dead, the Peter's cut. Holy shit.
It's a great pitch. But you can't make Freddy look that weak, man.
Taking pills to beat the shit out of that fucking child killer. What a
Freddy look that weak, man. That's just unfair to Freddy.
Oh my god, that's great. Okay, here we go. A real funeral. New Line Cinema held a mock funeral for Freddy at the Hollywood Forever Cemetery in Los Angeles as a marketing stunt. If there's one thing I know about Freddy his marketing ploys have been tremendous.
Yeah.
And that sounds great. What else? The Johnny Depp cameo, the Alice Cooper cameo, Roseanne Barr, Tom Arnold, the Power Glove conflict. The film features Freddy using a weapon molded after the Nintendo Power Glove. Nintendo refused permission to use their slogan, but the studio used the line, "Now I'm playing with power anyway." They did it without fucking any kind of okay. That's amazing. Wow. What does this say? Missing tradition. This is the only film in the original series that does not feature the iconic jump rope girls singing Freddy's rhyme. I didn't realize that.
And
wow.
Recently there was shared. So like the original ending was supposed to be Freddy had jumped into, like Freddy escaped but was like in the child now, so Freddy was living on.
Oh wow. The dream child?
Yeah.
The dream child?
Not his actual daughter, though. But like some of the stills were shared recently. Like,
oh wow.
Where it was like, no, see, we really did film another ending where Freddy, quote unquote, survived this way.
Oh wow. Interesting.
So they did film something confirming he was alive, but no, they went the dead route until obviously New Line was like, hey, we need to keep the lights on. So Wes,
come back, baby.
Come back.
Yeah, I love
this idea. It's called meta. Trust us. It's going to work.
It's so bizarre because I think if it was 1999 or 2000 and Wes Craven's New Nightmare came out,
shit would have been a hit.
Way more success. Unbelievable amount of success.
That film deserved much more than it got, and I think it unfortunately was still, this film still rubbed into
it was too close. It was 91 and 94. Like it wasn't a big enough break. Like it was exactly what you would think. It's like, oh, he's back. No shit.
Yeah. He's back to correct the course. Okay, whatever. We've seen it. But you hadn't seen it.
No.
That's what made it so damn good. Was you
not
hadn't.
That.
And then everybody saw Scream and went back and went, oh, that's why Scream was so good. He already did it.
Right. Ah, God, I can't wait to talk about it next week. Wes Craven's New Nightmare, and then a big old wrap up, and then next month, Trilogy Talk. It's happening on Friday the 13th.
Okay.
Get
but you're
ready.
not doing the reboot, right?
I am not. It's not a part of the core, but I'm saving to make Brooke watch it. I've wanted a nice gap in between reactions, so now she will react to A Nightmare on Elm Street 2010.
What do you want her to keep watching these with you, or do you want her to just be done?
I just want to see what happens. I want to know if she has a different feeling.
Nobody wants to see that film.
Maybe she will.
If she's the one, oh my God, you tell her if she's the one.
Oh,
he's the problem. It's her.
Yes, 100%. But what are your thoughts on Freddy's Dead? Woo! That was Freddy's Dead. What a dumpster fire of a movie that was, wasn't it, ladies and gents? Oh my God. What'd you think of that movie, Jim?
I had the pleasure of seeing it in the theater. And, it was a movie. I mean,
yeah, I think we've actually talked about it. That you've
bad.
seen it and seeing the 3D effects. The glasses for that movie, red and blue?
Yeah, it was the red and blue glasses, and it was cool. I mean, it was probably one of the first, if not the first 3D thing I saw in the theater. So, you get the dream demons flying right in front of you, like you could touch them.
Right. Well, here's my question for you, because recently Paramount released the Friday the 13th in 3D. During the Halloween season. I think they even did it during this time period for Friday the 13th. Do you foresee a world where we get Freddy's Dead back in theater and it's the 3D the way it was meant to be seen?
No, because I don't think anybody's clamoring for that at all.
Okay. Plus, I think because it's only the last 15, 20 minutes that are 3D.
Yeah.
So, like, what are we even doing? I'm going to just hold on to these glasses to the last bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
and
weird.
you always had the people like holding it up, like, what am I supposed to put on? You know, it was printed right on the glasses.
Right. Okay, fair enough. But you're not here to talk about Freddy's dead. Freddy died. But then miraculously, a couple of years later, there was a new version of Freddy. In 1994, we were gifted Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Let me tell you from the get, my core memories of this, my favorite as a kid watching this. I know this was on HBO or whatever pay channel that we had, and I saw the most of. And it was actually the thing that really made me like, oh my God, this Hollywood stuff, the acting, the behind the scenes. It was really, truly the first thing that I really got into filmmaking. And it was, you know, obviously it's not really how everything's done, but it was neat to see Robert without the makeup going to these talk shows, because I'm watching Ricky Lake at this point. So talk show stuff is really getting into me. And I absolutely loved the idea of a demon being captured in film and let out into the real world. I just thought this was a wonderful, wonderful way to continue the storytelling without making it feel redundant. How about you?
Yeah, it was definitely, I would say, ahead of its time. You know, it was Meadow before Meadow became popular with Scream a couple late years later.
Yeah.
And, you know, it pulls from Heather Langenkamp's real stalker issues that she had had. And it was different. This was a case of, hey, let's do something different. And they did something different while it still felt like a nightmare movie.
Wow. I actually never knew the stalker thing.
Yeah.
I pulled up some fun facts and maybe they'll dive deeper into it. But like, and I've seen the documentary Never Sleep Again. I'm not sure. It's been years since seeing that. So it's very interesting that he really did take like real life beats. I know she's married to a special effects man. I don't think it's Chase. No. I don't think it's based on him, but it's in the same kind of vein of a special effects artist that dies in this movie, but not in real life. Yeah, this one did it for me, and it's crazy that it got lost in the sauce. Before we move on to a recent viewing of it, if you have not seen Wes Craven's New Nightmare, it's about Heather Langenkamp, the actress who plays Nancy. She is dealing with some real life issues of a stalker that are kind of turning out to be a Freddy-like guy. And in this, people around her are dying, a la her husband Chase, who is working on a new glove for the Nightmare series. Their son Dylan is going through some traumatic shit. Through all this, we're seeing Nightmare stuff come to life. Freddy is reinvented and looking badass with darker green, darker red, and leather pants. Oh yeah, the leather pants. And eventually we come to find out that Wes Craven is writing a new movie, and that new movie is what they're living. And Wes tells Heather, yeah, there's this demon, an ancient demon that loved the idea of Freddy and wanted to just come get you some with that life. And when the movie stopped, demon wants out. They were able to bottle the demon. Demon wants out. So Heather's got to face Freddy one more time, which she does once her son has been kidnapped by this demon. They go to an ancient, like, relic-looking area, and they fight Freddy one last time. Boom. World saved. All is good. When was the last time do you think you've seen this, Jim?
I'd say within the last year.
Okay, now, was that just for your own accord, or do you go back to this movie often?
I wouldn't say I go back to it often, but it's like if If I'm gonna put a Nightmare movie on, it's probably this or Three.
Yeah, I mean, even before the rewatch of this entire event that we have done, out of the Nightmare series, there are three I'm going to do: Nightmare 1, Dream Warriors, and this. And I think that says a lot about not only Wes Craven, because Wes Craven's big play here, but Heather Langenkamp herself
Yeah.
being Nancy. And it's that final girl that I, for the longest time, was like not the best final girl, because I'm a Laurie Strode guy. Everybody knows this, and there's so many different variations of Laurie now. Not only just because of Jamie Lee Curtis, but Scout Taylor Compton, but like Nancy for me was always a back burner one. But when you really look at it from the jump, from Nightmare 1, she has been a bona fide fucking fighter. Wes Craven, between Nancy and Sydney, he just absolutely crushes at making the female hero just being a badass, honestly. And I think with the combination of Wes and her, they're the standouts of why these movies are just the best of the series.
Yeah, her character actually has some growth. It's not just a repetitive character. You see the difference between 1 and 3. Some years go by and she's older and she does some stuff. And then in this one, it's, Heather Langenkamp herself. It's not just, it's not the Nancy character, but you still see that strength that she has, that Nancy had, that the actress brings to it.
Right. From this film, there's so many scenes that I love. They do on purpose, in my opinion, and obviously they repeat steps of the original movie, which I kind of like. At the end, Freddy coming up from the bed and ripping the sheets, but that was to get them into that world. But the chase death, for some reason, always looked familiar, even though it's not a Wes Craven made movie. But the truck death, where he's getting his shit ripped out of him, that's almost like how Dan dies in part 5. Do you think that was done on purpose to homage the fact that Freddy did live in all these films?
I mean, it's possible. I think it's also possibly not, because what Wes is very much just like, I'm going to focus on what I did and not really take too much into account for what I didn't do. So it could go either way, I think.
I am of the camp, I think he did. And the reason why I also feel that way is because thinking about the funeral scene of Chase, there's the group of people at the funeral. There's a couple that aren't in Wes films. Tuesday Night is in the crowd of that. And I think they do a good job of, encompassing the whole franchise, because even a big plot point of the movie is like, Freddy's not scary anymore. Freddy, he is for the kids, as we said in the last episodes, but like, the talk show scene where Heather's on there, it's the 10th anniversary of Nightmare on Elm Street, and all of a sudden here comes Robert Englund, who's at the willing to just put on the makeup for an hour of TV. He is ready to do this.
But he was doing that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, though.
Yeah.
Like, this is, in my opinion, still today, and I've watched a ton of, I've seen Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I know what they do. I would pound for pound still say this is one of the better, like, Hollywood behind the scenes movies.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun stuff. And real quick, when you talk about that car death, the other important aspect of the car death is the fact that it needed to look like a real accident,
right?
So that it would spin to like, no, that he's torn up, but it was torn up because he was in a really bad accident. It couldn't have been because of a glove.
Right, and that's the thing is, like, if anybody looks at it, you just think that's a car mark, but for Heather Langenkamp being traumatized, thinks that's a claw mark, which it can go either way, but we know which way it went. I like that they use the turning room again for Julie's death, where, Dylan, have you played Skin the Cat? I mean, Freddy, once again, so vicious in this movie and taunting and wants to fuck you up, and still kind of funny. Like, there's use of the phone again about, he doesn't use the phrase, "I'm your boyfriend now," but he does say something to her, and then the fucking phone starts foaming because Dylan's mouth is foaming. But I think it was such a good idea. I'm kind of sad that, ultimately, Freddy's Dead is the reason why this fucking bombs at the box office.
Oh, yeah. Definitely. It left a bad taste in everybody's mouth that Freddy's Dead.
I do not remember the advertising for this film a lot. Well,
I don't think they knew how to advertise it.
Oh, that's very fair. If we're talking about this is a thing of its own own movie, how do you? You can't.
And there was nothing else really like it to really compare it to. I mean, people to sit there and put out a trailer and be like, "Oh yeah, these are the actors and they're playing themselves," and it's like, okay, is it a documentary? I think people were going to be very confused at that time, especially the average mainstream person.
Right. When Brooke and myself reacted to it recently, one of my notes of picking up, it is shot almost like a documentary in some parts. Like when she's walking around gathering her stuff to go to the talk show, the way the camera's following her, when she gets to the talk show and it's rushing her, the camera's rushing as well. When she's talking to Wes at his house about everything that's going on, it's shot that way. And then by the time you get to the end of the movie, it becomes a Nightmare on Elm Street 1. Everything's fucking still. Everything is just dark and just plays perfectly like the original movie. I can't yell from the rooftops enough how much I love this movie. And shockingly enough, on the reaction, when I told Brooke, I was like, this is my number 2 favorite horror movie of all time. It goes Halloween and this. And I think that's why I will always give Freddy that bonus jump. Going through this entire series, I did like 4, 5's a fucking stinker, 6 is a stinker, 2 has its campy love, but I'll never go back to these movies. I asked you, what ones do you watch often? I think this is the one I watch the most. I mean, even outside of the original or 3, I will watch this one before any of them because it does feel contained. And I do have the memories of the previous movie. I don't need to go back to watch them to watch this. And for me, Yeah,
you don't need to watch anything before this. You could watch the first Nightmare on Elm Street and then watch this.
Right.
I mean, you don't need any of the other ones to know what's going on. You know the basic idea and you know where they're on. And they hit a lot of the beats, like you said, a lot of the beats of the first one. So you'll get those little nostalgia aspects that are thrown in, and they made Freddy scary, which people didn't think was even possible anymore after, 3, 4, 5, 6. Right. The fact you could make him scary again. The remake maybe took it a little too far.
I haven't told her yet, but I think after we do Freddy vs. Jason, which that reaction will come out on the Thursday the 12th, right before Friday the 13th, I think I'm just going to have her jump in and watch that, because we've been separated from the original series far enough from the reactions that I feel when she watches Freddy vs. Jason, she'll get that oh yeah, this Freddy, man, they kind of did okay at Freddy. And then we jump into that one. I don't know, dog.
I mean, the funny thing is, and I know that's not what we're here to talk about, but I never really had a problem with the portrayal of Freddy in the remake. My problem was I just thought the movie was boring.
Yes, I think the pacing of the movie is boring. I didn't mind Jackie Haley. Is that what? Yeah, Jackie Haley. I didn't mind him as Freddy, and you had to move on, so why not him? But yeah, I think the movie in itself, which is weird because, Friday the 13th, which came out a year prior, there's fun moments in that movie.
Yeah.
So the fact that they were like, "Nah, we're just going to go dark," and I'm pretty sure he fucked that kid. Like that's well, a little too much. A little too much.
I mean, it is, but at the same time, like we act like child murders, so much better and so much more like forgiving.
But that's the play on Freddy Krueger, is the fact that he is a child murderer and everybody roots for him.
Right, and exactly. But and like, I mean, yeah, you can't forgive the child molesting in any sort of way.
Right.
But I don't know, like, is it worse to the point where like we're gonna just say like, oh, the character has just been ruined because of that?
Yeah, I don't think it's ruined. I think it's just the world wasn't ready to move on. Yeah. Like how the world's been ready to move on with like, oh, Kevin Bacon should be Freddy Krueger. And it's like, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, at this point, Kevin Bacon's going to be just as old as Robert Englund was when he retired from Freddy.
I was going to say, it's going to be like Kevin Bacon's doing it when he was Freddy versus Jason Freddy. Like, that's a little too old.
I mean, maybe even older at this point. I mean, Kevin Bacon's no young spring chicken here.
No.
I think we forget how old people are sometimes.
Yes, well, age definitely plays weird. Let's get into some fun facts and behind the scenes before we end this about Wes Craven's New Nightmare. Real life stalker inspiration. The plot was inspired by real life stalker to Heather Langenkamp, dealt with after her TV show Just the 10 of Us was canceled. I remember Just the 10 of Us. Oh my God. Wes Craven asked for her permission to weave the personal trauma into the film. Absolutely awesome. I love it. And we talked about it earlier that I don't love that she had a stalker, by the way. I just love the fact that she was willing to be like, yes, put this will make this feel even more real. And now I have even something else to go on when I watch it going forward.
And something to pull from, yeah.
The missing Johnny Depp cameo. Craven wanted Johnny Depp for a cameo as himself during the funeral scene, but was too intimidated to ask because Depp had become a massive star. Depp later told Craven he would have happily done it for free. Okay, bro. And I mean this sincerely. You were intimidated when this motherfucker cameoed and Freddy's dead?
So, I kind of feel the same way. So I think Wes Craven, this was at a time when Wes Craven's career was not really hidden.
Oh, agreed.
And yes, Johnny Depp cameoed in Freddy's Dead, which was a terrible movie, but it was a big mainstream event film. Yeah. So it's a little bit different.
It's a lot of bit different.
This is like saying coming to New Nightmare is like asking him to be in your indie film.
Yeah, but see, and that's the thing where I would look at, like, of course, I think Johnny would have done it from the jump, but I think because he would have done it from two different, the cameos are two different things. The Freddy's Dead, like you put it, it's a pop culture event. It's the ending. I mean, you already got Alice Cooper in there. You got Roseanne in there. You got all these cameos already. So jumping on it and supposedly the last, I'm sure Johnny would have been fine doing it. For Wes Craven's New Nightmare, this is the movie, this is the guy who made you. This is doing the favor for the guy that got you looked at from casting agents from here on out. So it's a little bit different, and I think he would have, I already know he would have, and I wish he did.
And also, even when he was a big star, even now, he's always still been an indie guy.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. The real earthquake footage. A massive earthquake strikes Los Angeles in the film. Just 1 month after filming these sequences, a real-life 1994 Northridge earthquake hit LA. Craven sent a second unit to film the actual wreckage, which was then edited into the movie. And I'll be dead to rights here. This is like one of the first facts that I knew about this movie way back in the day. Like, this is one of those things you read in a magazine or when the internet first started. That's the fact from this movie I knew. Freddy's redesign. Craven used this film to return Freddy to a more menacing demonic figure, removing the wisecracking persona from later sequels. He also gave Freddy a trench coat and more organic looking claw. Yeah. Let's talk that real quick. I love the design of this. I love the darker aspect, and it's funny because when you look at the promotional art with the poster and stuff like that, the glove that they use is actually the robot one from the beginning of the movie, which is in some aspects of the promotional posters. But the skeleton look I absolutely loved, and to top it with the coat, I thought it was fucking rad. I honest to God was like, what a glow up. You know what I mean? This motherfucker went on America's Next Top Model and just absolutely crushed the runway.
Yeah, it's a great look. It's because when you look at what they're going for with the demonic aspect of the character, I mean that shows. I mean, you got the more like organic, the bones in the glove. Even his face feels more angular. To give that more of a demonic feel to it that you generally see in demonic aspects. Yeah, everything. I mean, it's one of his best looks, if not. I mean, it's a top tier look for him.
100%. Last fact we'll do, the Lost Giant Spider scene. An early draft included a sequence where Robert Englund is attacked in his home by a giant red and green Freddy spider that cocoons him, an homage to The Fly. This was never filmed due to the budget constraints. That sucks, because the one critique I'll give the movie, which I kind of understand they do, when you watch it, it does give off the feeling, it doesn't give it off a lot, of like, is Robert doing this before we know it's a demon? Is Robert fucking with Heather Langenkamp? Robert leaves midway through this movie. Like, Heather tries to call. Oh, I'm sorry. We went on vacation. We'll be back soon. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. But now when I think, like, a giant spider would be amazing to have that scene, to have Robert Englund go through a nightmare, and that's what casts him out. Absolutely wakes up, pisses the bed. We got to get out of here.
Yeah, it would have been nice to have a Robert Englund nightmare. I don't know that a giant spider is the way to go. I think that seems a little too outside of what this movie is. Something maybe a little bit more grounded, but
yeah, that's fair.
But I do think it would have been really cool to have some sort of scene of him being tortured, because he's mentioned. I mean, they all mention having nightmares.
Yes. Yeah, and
so it would be good to see some of those nightmares.
And I agree. I think the fact that maybe it sucks because the movie's like 2 hours long. I mean, it is a movie, and you are dealing with a lot of shit. So I completely understand cutting script, cutting scenes, absolutely. But I agree with you. Maybe a more grounded nightmare of maybe an intruder in his house and seeing his wife killed. And that's what forces him to leave. That would work for me. It sucks because, Chase's death is the claw from the seat. The claws killed the special effects guys. So yeah, that's a little tough.
You could have just had Robert down in the boiler room and hearing the sound of the claw against the metal. I mean, it doesn't even need to be like a long, extensive scene, just anything.
Fucking, like a real recreation of Tina at the beginning of Nightmare, scaring her. And then when he wakes up, when he pops up behind him, boom, we out of here, girl. I ain't got time for this. That's awesome. So, last thing to say, where does this movie sit with you now? Like, do you watched it a year ago? Will you watch this in the next couple?
In the next couple of years?
Yeah,
possibly. I mean, if I'm not dead.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
I love that's your go-to for any time we do this.
Yeah.
If I'm not dead, I'll watch it.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see what happens.
For me, yes, I will pop this on just as background noise, most definitely. I'm thinking I'm about 4 years away from my kid getting into actually wanting to know these movies. Like, you know, he's running around with a ghost face mask and stuff like that. He has Michael stuff and he understands, he likes it. I'm waiting for when he's like, show me these in order.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You can't wait for those S&M scenes in part 2. That'll be a fun discussion.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. You know what? It's the birds and the bees and the gloves and the tees, baby.
Yeah.
Awesome. What are your thoughts on Wes Craven's new Nightmare? Are you a fan of it? Are you not really because it's meta? What about Freddy's Dead? Do you hate that movie as much as me? Let us know in the comments. Only one Core Memory Unlocked left. And we are going to talk Freddy vs. Jason. And this will release on Friday the 13th on Death Curse Club Freddy vs. Jason Day. All right, we will catch you then. See you then. Bye. May your nightmares be filled with giant spiders and Robert Englands running for their